If you see a person in a certain way, what are the behaviors that follow from this? And how do your behaviors toward the person determine this person's behaviors toward you? We're going to discuss social psychology's attempts to answer these questions. Now, I say attempts because we don't know the answers to them yet.
And so I'm going to sort of give you the empirical reasons why myself and numerous colleagues would argue that the approach that's being taken in Canada is ill-conceived and will not yield the outcomes, if the outcomes is lower rates of reoffending and lower incarceration rates, that the Conservative government, or any government that would be promoting those ideas, would like to see.
It took me 4 years to figure out what I wanted to do, and then even after that, it took me another 2 years to figure out what I wanted to do. So I took 2 years off in here. I actually was a bartender for those 2 years in Madison, but I also worked in a lab.
They held another trial for Miranda. He was convicted again, sent to something like 20 years in prison, got released, and about 2 years after release, he got stabbed to death. As the person that killed him, when the police went to arrested him, he says, "I want my Miranda rights to be read. I'm not going to talk to you." And they said, "Did you just, you just killed that guy that, made Miranda rights so well known."
Can you tell people what your name is?
Julie.
And how old are you? 2? And you're going to tell me the names of some animals, okay?
Penguins.
What's that?
A beaver.
A zebra. And what's that?
A tiger. I don't know.
That's a llama.
A llama?
Yeah, okay.
That's you, Daddy.
And what else?
And that's you, Mommy.
Uh-huh.
And that's me.
Right.
And that's my horn pal.
Okay.
And at the end of the term, the things that students remember most, or if you see someone out in the street who took your class 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, they'll always remember the demonstrations and things like that. They may not remember anything at all about cognitive psychology or statistics, but they'll always remember the things that they participated in.
I know everybody wants to take this course, and it's finally happened. So you're starting the new year off with a bang. So we're going to have fun with this course. There's 2 ways to look at statistics. You can either come in here full of anxiety and dreading it, or you can do it for what it really is, just another course. It's a tool.
I tend to be fairly expressive in my lecturing.
Yeah, well, go see a doctor. Bye. Right?
Some students really love to listen to a lecture instead of just take notes. ITV and then CUTV became wonderful for them because they could come in, snuggle in, enjoy it, go back and look at the tape and slow it down, and that to me was magic.
So welcome to this Introduction to the Study of Personality. It's Psychology 2600 sections B and V. My name is Tim Pitchell, and I'll get into my introductions in just a moment, but I wanted to begin this lecture like I begin all my lectures because it's very important in terms of the format. What you see on the overhead now are the lecture objectives.
We have a final examination for this course scheduled for Saturday, the 19th of April, 9 o'clock in the morning, and in all likelihood it will be on floors 4. Wait a minute. Gotta stop it. I can hear you.
Nope.
Let me give you a different one to do. How about you do this one right up here?
Oops.
There, okay. Okay, we're done in terms of giving you an idea of what these kind of things look like. So Jeremy, thank you very much for coming. I'm sure everybody appreciates that. And come on, we can go back with Leanne now. You don't have to stay for the rest of the lecture. You guys have to stay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Introduction to Forensic Psychology. My name is Kevin Nunes. So our first class today, it's televised, which is kind of weird for me. Hopefully you're probably all used to it from taking these kinds of classes.
This is a good time to consider budgeting for this course, budgeting your time and budgeting your interest, because having the time is not enough. You also have to be motivated and interested enough to actually do the work.
Injury to the brain accumulates, and you may compensate the first time and recover fully.
Right.
And also depending on how much time has elapsed. If you have two injuries in a very close period of time, the likelihood that there'll be a longer recovery period goes up.
So what does the standard serial position curve look like? Who wants to draw it? I do. Who does? You do? Okay, you want to draw it. All right. Yeah. That's enthusiasm. 8:30 in the morning on a Monday. You've got to like that.
What is abnormal psychology, or what is abnormal? When does behaviors or thoughts or feelings when do they become maladaptive? When do they become problematic? And when are they just weird?
That reminds me. Excuse me. Hi kids, Dad's on TV. Have you heard that thing about parents using the TV as a babysitter, a kind of surrogate babysitter? You take your kids, you stick them down in front of the TV, and you just walk off and forget about it. Now, I don't like doing that with my kids because, it's not very good parenting, but because I'm actually going to be on TV this week, I can just PVR it, put the kids in front of one of my lectures, and I can put them in front of the TV guilt-free because they're going to be watching me.
This school of thought is concerned with, it does not include cognitive concepts, there is no mind. This is reflected in the work of Skinner and Pavlov in classical and instrumental conditioning.
You don't know when Beethoven, well, a couple of people did, you don't know when Beethoven died. I used to ask, I have a lot of these questions, in what year was the Prophet Muhammad born? And in private conditions, you get everything from 2000 BC to 1981.
And if it's a religion, it sure is a 2-bit religion, right? I mean, I think you could do a lot better than PCC if you're looking for a religion. Remember this little model? It's in the textbook.
In the glory days when I wasn't doing TV, it used to get a little bit more risque, and there was a guy up here who students were asking him if he liked wearing women's clothing and stuff, and the thing was going off the chart. Oh, no, 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 and stuff. When you tell your girlfriend that you love her, do you mean it all the time and stuff? But on TV, we won't do that to Hannah.
Look at issues or different approaches to developmental psychology. So we've already talked about the first one, which is the nature-nurture. And we're going to constantly be wrestling with that. And we're also going to learn about some ways in which we can explain that it's both.
I've been told to try and look at the TV students. I don't know what to call TV students, so let me look at the TV students now. Hi guys, I'm your prof. Okay, so now the TV students have been acknowledged.
Good morning for all of you guys, and for everyone who's watching at home, this would be good afternoon. For us this morning, it's Monday, September 8th, and it's 8:30 in the morning, and these freaks all signed up for an 8:30 class. I didn't choose an 8:30 class, my goodness, I just got assigned that. But I'm very glad that you people are here this morning, all drinking your coffee is very good.
Call me Kim. I prefer that. If you're not comfortable with a first name basis, you can call me Dr. Hellmans or Professor Hellmans. As I say every term, please don't call me Madam. That is somebody who owns a brothel, and I don't own a brothel. Ma'am, we're getting a little, I feel like a grandma. Ms, okay, fine. Mrs, definitely not, I'm not married.
My name is Terry Ahuja. You guys can address me by Terry. I don't like doctor, I don't like sir, I don't like professor, so Terry's fine, Big T, T-Money, those all work. I'm taking over for Dr. Bob Zakarko. I don't know if you've heard of his name, but he had taught this class for a very long time. He was kind of an icon around here, so this is probably the first time in a long time that he's not teaching the class. So for those who have old exams, they're not going to work this semester.
In other words, they exaggerate areas of illumination and attenuate areas of lower illumination. So they provide for contrast effect.
Why do people fall in love? Maybe that might be a question. And rather than just basing on your own personal experiences, here the researchers will find a way to test it. So what is the scientific method?
What we're going to do today, the first lecture, is say hello. My name is Bernadette Campbell. I'm going to be teaching the course this term. Welcome to everybody in class. Welcome to everybody on TV and video.
The fact that we're talking about stress is something that, for most of us, this is a segment of the course that probably applies, probably is applicable to our everyday lives.
This one has high frequency and low frequency information. This one has only low frequency information. But something curious will happen to you. Oh, shoot. See, that's too far away. The camera's way the hell up there, isn't it? Isn't that a shame? I'm real tempted. I'm real tempted. I know. Come up here and help me. Somebody's got to come up here and do the zoom. Right here is the zoom. Play with the one that'll allow us to back off and see that sucker. Getting nothing but words. So, whoops. Now now make it focus. Or no, do the zooming some more. Or whichever is going to bring it in. It's probably the focus is the problem. Forget it. Here, enjoy. See what I'm looking at?